On most of these questions, there are slightly different answers depending on independent and public. So if I look at the religious question, the United States, of course, has a First Amendment to the Constitution that not many people understand very well. But with this idea that state and church are separated, so they're from the founding of the country.
Like in France?
Maybe a little like in France and other countries, yes. And
it's more strict in France.
Yeah. It's strict in the States in that, well, it's muddled in the States. And so people in our schools, our public schools, are careful about what to bring in that may be interpreted as religious. There's a lot of examination and questioning there. I would say, well, there's no religious practice in our schools, public or private. Yeah. And so we, there's not a religious lesson or curriculum, and certainly in the public.
No religious festivals.
Well, that's much more tricky, isn't it? Because what are many of the traditional Waldorf curricula festivals, or at least the ones that have been understood to be traditional, are Christian festivals in their origin. So I think festival work is one area where we are all very active in asking, what are the festivals of this, can't even say country, this part of the country, this place, these people, this time, and how can we break away from the old pattern of festivals and yet still have a rich community festival life that is being reformulated and developed for there. So more reflection of the cycle of the year in different cultures and religions, not just the traditional Christian one. I think that's a big area of work right now. Would you agree?
Yes, I think that's the place where religion shows up the most, at least in the independent Waldorf realm. And I say that because we also do verses that refer to God, but I don't think that's an issue, at least in the independent school. And schools are working to various degrees on transformation. So really trying to understand what is the intention from Rudolf Steiner for having a festival, and how do I make that alive in this place at this time? And so recently we were talking to a school, the Denver Waldorf School, and they reformulated as a faculty. They spent a long time, how do we do this? And they built this whole story that had a lot to do with the geography and the history of the place, and that was about courage, and it involved the whole school and with service. So, that's one way, one example of a school that's reimagining their festival life for this time and place.